Peace, family. Now that Donald Trump has started this war with Iran, he is now trying to force other countries into helping him resolve this issue. Remember when Donald Trump said that he himself stopped 8 wars? And this was his reason why he felt that he deserved to win the Nobel Peace Prize. He came in and he stopped 8 wars, even though the price of eggs, gasoline, and inflation rose in this country in record numbers. He still found the time to end 8 wars and the 8 different conflicts in foreign lands. He was more successful outside the United States than he was within its borders. Now, all of a sudden, you need help to stop a war that you did start. How is it that you could be an expert in solving conflicts that you had nothing to do with, but the one that you started yourself, now you're trying to force the world to help you in? And what am I talking about? Watch this.
The president is making phone calls to world leaders with specific requests to cease their interaction with the regime. We are already seeing results. Over the weekend, comments from Iranian leadership clearly acknowledged the effect of this campaign, and nations that facilitate any interactions with the regime should quickly heed our message. Those who stand with the United States will reap the rewards of our partnership. Those who tether themselves to the Iranian regime should expect to share in the isolation of a withering regime.
You know, who the F Donald Trump think he is? and this clown. You know, how you going to threaten some other country to side with America and benefit with the prosperity of this country when the Americans are not prospering from the benefits of this administration? Who the F do this guy think he is? Because he has no means to end this war, no strategy or anything, he is trying to economically force other countries to stop doing business with Iran, to force them to meet his demands. This is absolutely ridiculous. But let's continue.
From Treasury, State, and the U.S. military are now meeting with their global counterparts to tell them that the United States expects action. Every country has a defined timeline to shut down activities we have identified. If they do not take action, we will do so unilaterally through Treasury authorities. For example, every branch of Bank Melli must be shuttered and dark. And let me be clear, any entity that facilitates money laundering on behalf of Iran will be removed from the US dollar system. The clock just started ticking.
You know, if anybody had half a brain listening to this nonsense, this is not the time that you threaten foreign countries with sanctions. This is the time when you have somebody that speaks diplomacy, the art of diplomacy. You would need some type of let me see, what's the word I'm looking for? Negotiator to come in and negotiate terms and conditions that's mutually beneficial to put an end to this conflict. Now, I wonder where you could actually find somebody that's good at the art of. Oh, wait a minute. What about that guy that did that book, the what they call it, the Art of the Deal? Oh yeah, he is the president of the United States. How come he isn't using his negotiation tactics and strategies? He's the world's greatest negotiator to put an end to this conflict, as opposed to threatening other countries from doing business with Iran to solve a problem that he started himself. But listen to the extent that this fool is talking. Watch this.
The new sectoral sanctions determinations issued today target 5 of Iran's most vital lifelines that it exploits in other countries: digital assets, technology, gold, aviation, and shipping. These measures broaden secondary sanctions risk for anyone foolish enough to continue conducting business with this regime, and will accelerate the speed with which we pursue them. As I speak, Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control is also sanctioning over 60 entities individuals and vessels around the world that enable the Iranian regime to procure illicit nuclear and missile technology, conduct cyber operations, and generate oil revenue.
You know, let me be absolutely clear about this. Because Donald Trump cannot end this war or have no plans or means to end this war with Iran, you want to sanction other foreign countries to do the work that you brought on yourself. You know, this not it all started, but one of the things that happened was when Donald Trump went to South Korea to ask for their help in resolving this Iranian situation, and South Korea told him we don't want nothing to do with that. So what did Donald Trump do in response to that? He stopped the military practices that South Korea and the United States was participating in. And then part of these military trainings was because South Korea is at threat from North Korea. So now not only did Donald Trump suspend the military practice training between these two countries, he's going now to visit the president of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, just to try to, you know, make the people in South Korea a little bit nervous, you know. And the thing about this is this: when you conduct trade with another country, these are not just one-way transactions. If I got a farm and I make a deal with somebody to give them a few chickens, I'm expecting something in return. If these countries are negotiating trade agreements with other countries and they're exchanging goods and services, it is not, when you target Iran's technology, gold, or whatever else he named, you cutting off what other people are getting in return for this. So unless you're able to provide the goods and services that these countries are expecting, that they can't get from nobody else, or from a deal that's acceptable that they had with Iran, unless you're willing to start supplying these people with all their demands, how on earth can you get them to stop making this deal with Iran? And see, this tells me, this shows the importance of having ownership and control over your existence. So that some foreign leader or domestic leader can't get his panties in a bunch and threaten to target your vital assets. The way you educate your children, the way you provide for your health, the way you feed your family, your employment, your wages, your cost of living. If we had internal means to sustain our own existence, you wouldn't even be hearing this noise what this guy's talking about. Like I say, anybody that thinks that Donald Trump was the great negotiator, the deal maker, the man who could solve all the world's problems in one day, and look what he's doing now. You done started a war with Iran, and now you threaten an economic war with all these other foreign countries. And you made a war enemy out of Canada. This makes absolutely no sense. But you know what? Whoo, this is just one dumb mother effer. I'm in this video here, and as always, these are my thoughts, my opinions. I invite you to leave yours in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Ashe.